with most Jenbel, as always. Welcome back. So we are finally finishing up the Child's Play franchise in Child's Play 2019, the reboot slash remake of the original from 1988. So let's get into it. So as I said, this was a reboot slash remake, however you want to think about it. Let me tell you. I was really kind of going into this, really kind of expecting not to really like it as much, just because, for some of you know, I'm not the biggest fan. I shouldn't say I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm one of those people who, and I hate to admit this, I'm usually very critical about remakes and stuff. There's very few of them that I absolutely love. Nothing against remakes, but I just, with all the remakes we've had over the years, it's so much. Some of them we've had some really good ones, other ones not so much. But Child's Play 2019, very kind of mixed bag. I know when it first kind of came out, I remember hearing a lot more negatives about it than positives. It really hasn't been until more recently. Like, I know there were a few people from the get-go who really were kind of praising this remake and everything, but it seems like more so now that we've kind of been able to digest it a little bit more, that I've been hearing a few more people like, you know what, it's really not that bad. And you know what? To an extent, I kind of agree. I do have issues with this, but I also really liked parts of this movie right there. So I'm pretty indifferent about this movie, this take on a pretty decent movie. So let's crack into it. Let's just kind of get into it. So right off the bat, the thing that I really didn't like about this movie, about like the first 30 minutes or so of this movie, first half of the movie or so, closer to the 30 minutes, and it just had a lot to do with like our characters and everything. It really took me a while to warm up to a lot of our characters. The boyfriend of the mom, I will say it, that character nearly ruined the movie for me. I will say it, I could not stand this character, and because I could not stand this one character, I then started to find, like, the mom kind of annoying, and even the kid pretty annoying, but once he got out of the picture, I started warming up to the other characters, definitely kind of started warming up to the mom a little bit, especially to kind of get that focus off her boyfriend, and more onto her kid, being a little bit more of a parent and everything. She was just distracted by this douchey-ass fucking boyfriend that she had, which we will find out. I should have stated this earlier, there's going to be spoilers, in this, but that fucking boyfriend, and this will kind of go into some of the positives, so I don't totally hate everything about this character, or nearly everything in the first half of the film. But so this guy goes home, this boyfriend goes back to his place, to his wife and children. Let me fucking tell you, man, I would have fucking broken his legs my fucking self. Let me fucking tell you, man. Sorry for the F-bomb. Not even sorry. So this heaping pile of fucking douchebag shit. See, and here's the thing, too. As much as I hated this character, once we get back to his home, we know, he's got what's coming to him. And let me tell you, fucking satisfying. Yeah. And you know what? I like that his death was a bit drawn out, because he deserved it. First he falls, breaks both his fucking legs. I mean, bone out, cracked and everything, bone out legs there. I'm just saying. And then, yeah, so and then there's a little bit more and everything, and all this, and we see Chucky coming and everything. I'm just saying. So, yeah, that's one of those things. That was definitely a character that I was just like, and I knew from the start, like, this guy's not gonna make it. Hopefully, he dies sooner rather than later, and thank you to this movie for doing it pretty correctly in that he gets killed. He's one of the first, if not first person to be killed. Thank you. So yeah, so like that right there, as much as I hated this character, his death, very satisfying. I loved it. I did. So yeah. Oh, I should probably explain the differences between this Chucky that we have compared to the Chucky that we've all had before. Now, I know all of you guys pretty much kind of know the premise of this movie. It's not so much a murderous killer who transport his soul into this doll. No, it has been updated to a more modern take to kind of, reflect the ever-changing technology of today's world. I'm just saying, and that's something that I do like as well. I know some people had a few gripes about this. I too myself, when I first heard about what they were gonna do with this Chucky doll of having a disgruntled employee and everything, I had some reservations, even though I kind of thought like, they need to kind of change that up. I feel like I want to see something different. And I feel like this is probably what they're going to do, something where probably a disgruntled type of person is going to either like a hacker or something, or someone hacks into it, say like a former employee kind of gets their hands on a doll and kind of, digs around with it to make it go all haywire. But no, we do see the person actually in the plant doing this doll and everything, and takes off literally all the safety codes and then gets sent out. And of course, yeah, we get this doll. We get this freaking busted up doll. And also too, they, instead of Good Guys doll as a company, it is now called Buddy. My buddy. I don't know if they just were able to kind of use that Buddy as a total homage of what this, something that this initial series was kind of inspired by. Like, I know the first one was really kind of inspired by a lot of kids' toys and everything, and, toy companies really starting to wise up and gear towards kids and everything, because they know that it's money right there, because kids are going to go beg their parents. But by this point, so many of us know that when this movie came out, the original came out in '88. It was so kind of influenced by Cabbage Patch dolls, because those are hot items. Plus, kind of like the interactive toys such as Teddy Ruxpin. That was an interactive one, and I gotta say towards the end, if I forget to bring this up, because they're showing off like the new version of the models and everything, and you see like. I like that they do show a few different, like, dolls and everything, and you can tell, like, that is inspired by that, that's inspired by that toy from the 80s, and there's one that's, like, a bear, and I was just like, Teddy Ruxpin, you finally got your, like, recognition, and with all these other toys. I kind of like that, too, nice little, like, throwback, and that's the other thing, because they did have a few little, like, homages to both, the franchise, but also a little bit of a nod to the hat of some of the things that really inspired the initial series and everything, and the first movie and everything. And I like that because it was a little more subtle. Unlike Halloween 2018, where I know that was like one of my biggest gripes, where it's like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna ignore this whole series, but we're just gonna kind of honor them anyway with all these like homages and everything. That was too overboard for me for this one, at least for me. Like I said, it was just touches of little homages to other things and everything, to the rest of the series, or to, like, the series itself and everything, without it, like I said, being overloaded in your face all the time. So, I'm just saying. But yeah, in, like, the first half of the movie, with not only just like the boyfriend who I just, oh god, you guys, it really just, but it was also for me just way too slow. And here's the thing about the Chucky series, because this is something, this whole series, each movie, it does take a little bit of time to, develop the story, kind of get going a little bit, set up our, people who, are basically gonna have to try and, like, be the ones to fucking take down Chucky and everything. I like that. Usually, for most of the series, it kind of did work out for me for that. Like I said, I don't mind like the slow paced beginning, and then towards a certain point, about halfway, it starts really picking up and everything. This one, just the first half for me was, like I said, it dragged and dragged and dragged, and like I said, I think a lot of it had to also do with the characters. Like the characters, like I said, like just very annoying to me at first. Like even the mom, as I was saying a little bit ago. I know she's got this boyfriend and everything, this douche-ass boyfriend, dude. I'm sorry. I don't care how hard up you are for a man, dude. If your guy's like this, dude, get him the fuck out of there. And I'm just saying, if Chucky had not gotten to this guy, I would have been the one going after this fucking douchebag to break his fucking legs. Because, yeah. Not only are you cheating on your wife and your family, but you're cheating on your girlfriend. That's gonna, like, mess things up. Guy was so overly, obnoxiously, just such a dick. Such a dick. And you know what? I mean, I gotta say, that's probably pretty effective, because look at me. I'm over here absolutely hating this guy, and like I said, it was so satisfying once he fucking died. And once he did die, I was just like, finally. And I started to kind of get into the movie a little bit more, and then from there on, rest of the movie, I really, really enjoyed. So that's what I mean, you guys. It's like the first half of the movie, I absolutely effing hate it. And here's the thing. I'll be honest with you. Like, this is not even me overreacting. I literally, within the first couple minutes of this movie and, like, being introduced to our people, I literally had to smoke some grass. Literally. Not a lot. Nothing to get me but enough to where I could just at least tolerate. Like, that's how, like... And then, yeah, like I said, second half of the movie, definitely, I liked it better. I liked kind of how they were doing it, where even, like, the mom, kind of doesn't believe and just, like, feels like, okay, like, all this stuff is happening, just, why can't my kid be okay, and blah, blah, blah. And, like, even his friends, that's the other thing that I really like about this movie, is the... sort of what we see with the friendships in this movie, and like the two friends that he kind of meets and everything and starts getting to know. I love how with this movie they do show sort of because the kids are like 12, and I know I was gonna bring up the whole like, oh, kid's 12, he's got a freaking adult. Yeah. Although I have to say though too, because I know everyone was kind of picking on the kid of like, oh, he's too old to have a kid. But here's the thing, like even the commercials was saying that it's geared towards like 12 and 13-year-olds. Whatever. That's fucking stupid. You're too old to be gearing a fucking doll like this to a fucking 13-year-old. That's gonna get your fucking beat up on first day of junior high, I'm just saying. It's alright to have them, but I'm just saying, like, unless it's got some sort of, like, attachment to it. Whatever. But anyway, I've gotten sidetracked. The friendships and stuff of the kids. So I really do like the relationship with the kids and everything, because, this kid, Andy, he's named Andy in this one, right? We're gonna go with it. Whatever. You guys will correct me if I'm wrong. I know it. Whatever. Oh, don't fuck off. I'm just saying. I like you guys. But yeah, like I like how it was a little, I don't, not like totally realistic, but realistic enough where you do see kids in situations where like they disagree with things, they get into a little fight, they're like, I'm done, we're not friends with them, and then short time later they kind of come around, they're like, no, we really got to stick up for this kid and everything, and while all the other kids are like, oh, the kid's just psycho, and he's this and this and this, don't talk to him, and he's got his two friends who, they were pissed off at him just a bit ago, but now they're kind of like, you know what? Like, something is going on here. It's not Andy's fault. We gotta help him because no one else is believing him. We didn't believe him for a little bit there, but there's something going on. So, like, things like that I do like about how they focus on those kids, harness those kids a little bit. And yeah, like, so I mean, so these things like that, and even there was a kill in here with one of the neighbors. This is another way too, where I know. I mean, even with the boyfriend who I hated, and I was like, once he was dead, and I was like, oh yes, yes, yes. There's still there's another kill in here where it will make you go, you know, like, oh, that one kill. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I like that character. The one that, yeah, and that was another one that was not a quick death either. The neighbor who took like the good guy, the buddy, car or whatever, is being chauffeured around or whatever. Like, that one was not a quick one. That one was kind of drawn on. And like I said, I was like, oh, and I knew it was coming. I was like, no, no, no. You know, so I mean, when you can have two pretty decently reacted kills where it has two very different reactions out of someone. One where it's like, yes, and the other's like, no, in the same movie and done pretty well. You know, I do like that. I'm just saying. But yeah, like, and I love the ending too, where they're like, everyone just takes a shot at this thing just to make sure it's dead. Like, everybody did. Like that. God, yeah. I mean, I guess I probably shouldn't spoil everything about this, but no, but I mean it's a decent one, you guys. I wanna definitely give this another shot. Down the road, I gotta give myself some space between the franchise and the remake and everything. Cause oh my god, this was an interesting franchise review. Cause as I've kind of stated all along, I was never overly huge. I was never a total fangirl of the series, of the Chucky series. And this actually, to be honest, too, my buddy Jay actually recommended me to do this franchise because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And I know he felt a little bad. He's like, oh man, with all your posts, it seems like you're just like hating this. And I'm not hating it, but I needed to do this, and I thank you, Jay, for offering or suggesting this because, you know, I told him I needed to really kind of sit down and watch all these movies, give them really a fair shot and everything. And no, I mean, with seeing them through and everything, you know, each movie pretty close together, I can now kind of pretty much confirm, like, what movies I kind of do like from the series. I know for a fact which ones I do not like. Bride and Seed. You know, and ones that I'm glad I rechecked out because proves that I like them a little bit more. Specifically, Cult and Curse, or I should say, Curse and Cult. Not necessarily the best in the series, but certainly not the worst. Decent little ones. Like I'm definitely much more of a Curse person. This remake, like I said, I want to give it a second chance. I do, and for me to say that, you know that I had to at least enjoy it enough to warrant, to give it another fair shot. I'm just saying. So who knows? Maybe in like a year or something, whenever I get to this again, I'll have another review, a re-review. I swear to God, I did not smoke out before this video. I swear to God, you guys, I am over. But yeah, so but yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts of the Page 49 remake reboot of Child's Play. Till next time, you guys, as always, stay creepy, classy, and a little bit sassy.